Governor Bello Metawalle, please, for the past 5 days, going to 6 days, bring pieces of evidence. And then what he says is to be giving excuses. No, why are they coming only after me? Because I'm a governor. Are they coming after a minister or a director in one ministry or a director general in the federal government? That cannot be any tenable excuse.
Times have fast passed. Weeks have turned to days. Days to hours. Hours will soon turn to seconds, all right? Yes, as we await the verdict at the Supreme Court over the ongoing petition against Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president-elect and the APC presidential candidate in the just concluded elections, by the inhabitants of Abuja over the issue of not gaining 25% of legitimate votes in the FCT. In the wake of that, I welcome you to Nation's Voice Tower. My name is Angelo, your anchor. Yes, we'll keep our fingers crossed and see to how the case would unfold in court today. Don't forget, today is the 26th day of May 2023, Friday. Now, it's been 6 days since Governor of Zamfara State, outgoing Governor of Zamfara State, Bello Metawalle, alleged a plot by the boss of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Abdul Rashid Bawa, asking him for a tip of a whooping sum of $2 million. Now, the EFCC boss has since answered or responded to the governor by saying that no one is clean though, but the governor is yet to provide evidences alleging to this particular plot, because we all are waiting for Governor Metawalle to bring out evidences. As wise and as very intelligent as Governor Metawalle is, you should know that when talking about this, you can't just come out publicly and bring an allegation. You must have an evidence, a recorded conversation, a text message, a physical conversation, a video caption or something, okay? So you should always have an evidence. But in the wake of that, without an evidence, I believe Governor Metawalle is playing a hardball. I believe he's playing a sort of game that is yet to be understood by Nigerians. In the wake of that, let me allow you listen or watch an analyst, Frank Tietie, with Arise News, who came out to really tell us what really he feels is the issue with Governor Metawalle coming out to allege this particular plot. Because it is not right to make allegations on bare grounds or on no grounds. You must have full pieces of evidences. Watch him.
You know, corruption. That is the reason oftentimes you see that it is easier to point at the evidence of humongous corruption, humongous pilfering, humongous misappropriation carried out by the governors. That's the reason why oftentimes it happens on the EFCC gets a mountain of evidence against them. It does not mean that the EFCC does not focus its searchlight on the federal institutions, the ministry, department, and agencies. As a practicing lawyer myself, I have seen several cases in this foregoing year how involving federal institutions where also not only by the AFCC but by the ICPC, where there have been investigations have been carried out. We've seen persons being sent to prison. Particularly of note is a serving senator, Senator Peter Wabuchi of Delta State, who decided to subvert the funds and the contract procurement process of the NDDC. The FCC did not waste time. I mean, stayed on course and ensured that he faced the legal music. And today, he's cooling off in the prison, despite the fact that he's supposed to be a serving senator. So that is on an unnecessary prevarication, trying to, you know, in the usual manner of these governors, try to, you know, divert attention from them. Face the accusation that is against you, and don't begin to, you know, fish for, you know, sympathy from the public by making unfounded accusations, unfounded statements. For example, the one we are dealing with now, saying that the man, the respected chairman of the EFCC gave him, asked him for bribe. How? When? Who? At what point? Who was the witness? Did you make the recording? At what? And it goes against every reasonable thinking that a sitting chairman of the EFCC will meet a governor and beg for $2 million for what? You know. But again, even if it were to happen, Governor Bello Metawalle, please, for the past 5 days, going to 6 days, bring pieces of evidence. And then what he says is to be giving excuses. No, why are they coming only after me? Because I'm a governor. Are they coming after a minister or a director in one ministry or a director general in the federal government? That cannot be any tenable excuse. If there is corruption found anywhere, the freedom of expression in this country allows any individual, either through his counsel or by himself, to write a petition to the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission or the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. If the FCC is very painstaking and very responsive in dealing with petitions that have been sent to it concerning governors, does not mean that it is turning a blind eye to the accusations against persons working in the federal government.
It's funny, very, very funny. I can't stop laughing. Frank Tete is a master, so when he explains things pertaining to judicial explanation, you would have to understand. I would ask Governor Matawalle to please provide evidences. You're dealing with an agency that is known for anti-grafting offenses, money laundering crimes, and so on. An agency that hinges its activities on high-level investigations, high degree of money laundering cases, and high expertise in finding information pertaining to issues pertaining to misuse of funds and other crimes related to funds. Okay, so if you are trying to nail a boss of such a big organization, you should be ready to provide pieces, bags and bags of evidences. So Governor Matawalle, please do the needful, or you forever remain silent. That is that. Yes, next on my update, I have Aisha Yusufu. Aisha Yusufu has always had the welfare of Nigerians at heart, and she has also fought for Nigerians over time. Okay, and I will tell you, she is also a member of the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council, and she's also a spokesperson of the Obi-Dirty Presidential Campaign Train. Now, about the ongoing Presidential Elections Petitions Tribunal, she has come out and to explain and to give Nigerians a sort of hope, okay, much needed hope though. She strongly believes that the mandate will be reclaimed no matter what. She, as a motivational speaker, has challenged Nigerian youths to wake up from their slumber in the wake of the reality of the 29th day of May 2023. Aisha believes that no matter what happens, she has seen it vividly that the APC are having a sort of low build up to the 29th day of May, which means the APC are sort of fretful, they are very, very fearful of what may happen if their candidate is disqualified, which is the president-elect. In order not to let the cat out of the bag in no time, let me allow you listen and watch Aisha Yusufu as she gives this motivational speech and as she brings a sort of energy to Nigerian youths to stand up and reclaim the mandate.
My fellow citizens, you are worried, you are sad, you are depressed, you are this haba. Don't you know what you've done? Haven't you seen the capacity of what you can do? Why are you allowing a few obstacles to be the one to determine you going on this journey that you're already winning? You understand? Why are you limiting yourself? Why are you giving people power they don't have? Why? Forget what has happened before. Why they happened was because you were not focused. Now you are focused on the issue. Now you are not letting it go. Normally after election, all of us would have moved on now, because now then. Then now this one open now then. This one now we now all of us. And you are doing it on it. Why all of this? Tinubu will be sworn in on May 29. And but now I can be. You go enter the commoter. Oh, he will have the power. He will now have immunity. Which immunity? Immunity on crime that on things that is being done. There's no immunity. Oh, you now have power to buy the judges. Whatever power he has, he already has them. Which judge is he buying? You have the power to overwhelm the courts with evidence. Don't forget what the issue is all about. Issue is that votes were stolen. Election was rigged. Results were mutilated. They were changed 201. They will come change and come add the 1. Come join the 0. It will come be one big 0. The 2 will come this small. It's evident. That's what we should be focusing on. That's what you should be focused on. You've done so much. They are afraid of you, but they are not showing. That's why you see them up to today. Have you seen them all focused on the transition? By now, they should be sending you pictures, all the things they are doing, doing you this, but they can't. Because they are afraid. They don't say their nyash not sit down well on top of that thing. They fear you. You whether they fear, you can't fear any depressed. Stand up, Jare. What did they happen? Waiting. Nigeria, our own country. Nigeria, our own country. We know they go anywhere. No retreat, no surrender. They tell. So you say, later I will tell you so. Stand up, Jare. They don't do the here because of who? They get too head. What did they don't tell you say they get power before say you no fit do anything. You don't do something. They don't tell you say now they own Abuja, now they own Lagos, now they own rivers, now they own this, now they own that. Where is they? They own them. They say see them. It's every they sit down, they proud. They carry up. Even nobody is telling you where to carry yourself, where to pat yourself up back. Say yes. We don't do the one before, we win. This one again we go do them. No, they focus on what the result. Waiting concern you. Waiting concern you now. The effort where you they put. Every day you go wake up. You go wake up say yesterday I not do anything. That's the spirit. That was how we won this election. It's not by thinking maybe we will not win it now. No. The only thing that we know will happen is that swearing in Nigeria will change from May 29 to another day by the grace of God. That's it. So focus. When we were telling people, we were telling people, say, this election, forget about the focus, we win. You did not focus. If you had not focused, imagine if you had given up. That time people would say, we cannot be win, cannot be win. Imagine you had given up. Would we be here? Would we have had any win that we can use? It won't be there.
You know, when I watch Aisha Yusufu in the video footage, she reminds me of different human rights activists that have risen in Nigeria. She reminds me of voices in the media that have tried to be silenced over time as a result of the outspoken nature. She reminds me of Delegiwa. She reminds me of people like Ken Saro-Wiwa. She reminds me of people like Gani Fayomi, and so on and so forth. This is a woman that has taken it upon herself to fight for the welfare of Nigerians. A woman that has taken it upon herself to stand tall amongst all her peers in the pursuit of justice, stable democratic system, and suitable governance. But mind you, Aisha Yusufu is not in Nigeria right now. She's undertaking a job, a very high-class job outside the country, and she feels so sad that she's not actually on ground to witness the reclamation of the mandate, if possible. But I'll tell you what, youth should pick up from what she's saying. If really the youth feel the mandate has been taken away unlawfully, the youth should stand up and protest peacefully. That is the main thing. According to what she's saying, peaceful protest is in the constitution and it's of no harm to anybody. So if there is really a stolen mandate, I think the youth should do the needful by what she's saying there. That is that Mrs. Betta Edu, one Mrs. Betta Edu, who is the APC women leader, has come on air, and she has been put under strict scrutiny and strict heat by Channel's news presenter talking about Sheun Akimbaloye. Now, this time around, this particular women leader could not hold her grounds. Now, Ms. Betta Edu has come in this particular interview, and she has said that the party, which is the ruling party, the APC, had delivered on all its promises to Nigerians. Is that true? I'm asking. Okay, now she feels that, or she said, I reiterate, that the APC has delivered on all its promises to Nigerians. Funny enough, Channel's TV correspondent Sheun Akimbaloye took her on, and where he disclosed that the APC had assured Nigerians of the equality of $1 to 1 naira when they took over office in 2015. Okay, but at this time, Better Edu couldn't even answer much. She began to run helter-skelter in the studio. That is to tell you that the APC know the truth and they know why they have been acting funny. They have not really delivered on the promises they've made to Nigerians. In the wake of that, I'll allow you to watch this footage and see how confused Mrs. Better Edu was.
Men that we favor them tomorrow at the Supreme Court.
Well,
does that not bother you in any way?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
What if it doesn't go in your way?
So it's very, very clear that it definitely will go in our way.
Do you know what the Supreme Court is going to say tomorrow?
So I'm not trying to. It
does look like you understand the script already.
I'm not no script at all. I'm not trying to preempt the Supreme Court judges, but of course there are several factors that come into play when Supreme Court is issuing a judgment, and one of them is the stability of the polity of a nation
against the justice.
So the justice clearly.
I'm just asking you that. I mean, you probably.
Of course, all of them are part of it.
Justice, stability,
stability, but everything is part of it. So it's a holistic judgment, right? Looking at the environment, the stability of the country, its politics, of course, justice, and every other thing in between. But the case, of course, if you know the substance of the case, you would clearly understand that these are just basically. I don't know what would be the best words to use if I would want to borrow an English line, say semantics, right? Where you're trying to pull up stuffs where nothing truly exists. So there's really no basis for that. But of course, like you know, just like we saw the judgment which was issued a few hours ago at the appeal court, actually fining someone 40 million for asking that inauguration should not hold. So you just find people who come up with these ideas and they believe somehow by whatever means they will get through with it. But of course, Nigeria is beyond all of those sentiments. So when you came into Nigeria when you took over Nigeria as the party, the governing party in the country, right? And you met part of our territories, over 22 local governments in the hands of terrorists. And today, at your exit, you don't have any single part of our country under the rulership or ownership of any terrorist group. That's positive change. When he came in to government, of course, APC got into government in 2015. Every other day we had bombs going off everywhere. I cannot recall the last time I had a bomb going off anywhere in Nigeria. That's positive change.
Maybe because you live in Abuja. Those who live in some part of the interior of this country,
well, of course, we have you to report for us.
And northwestern region, you live in some part of the northeast region, they'll be wondering whether Mr. Edu, just like I said to Mr. Femi Adesina yesterday, whether you live in the same Nigeria that they live in.
Well, at least we have you to report for us. So if you're not reporting it, that means it's not happening, isn't it?
We're reporting people being kidnapped. Just today, we had there were reports of 2 of the girls that were kidnapped in Yauri by the Dongondigide faction of the bandits. Being released today. I mean, these are schools that bandits went in there and took away our children. That's the sad state of security in the country.
So,
that is the country that the APC is presently giving to Nigeria.
The truth is this, right? First and foremost, Nigeria today is not where it was in 2015. A lot has improved. Our infrastructure has improved. There was no second Niger bridge and several other roads. Of course, you give it to this government. They've done a lot on infrastructure. They've done a lot in terms of even the humanitarian affairs, reaching out to people, creating different social platforms to be able to alleviate Nigerians from poverty. A lot of laws have been passed into place to help form a system.
You're touching on something that is also very sensitive. When you take people out of poverty, it's under your government. That is now over 50% of Nigerians are poor. In fact, 153 million Nigerians are said to be in multidimensional poverty. And that's the situation. That was not the case when you took over government in 2015. I'm asking, madam, that's your party promised Nigeria Uhuru, but now I don't know what you think. Do you think that Nigerians are happy with your party today?
You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Still Nation Voice Tower. I would prefer you always tap the subscribe button if you're an incoming subscriber, And I urge you to tap the notification bell too, so you could get updates from us anytime we drop any. Then I will tell you to watch this video to the end, because updates are fully packed from beginning to the end. So I will urge that you also share this video to people in Nigeria and people outside Nigeria. These activities you do to us are so lovely, and we thank you so much, because YouTube uses these activities, liking, sharing, and subscribing, to recommend our videos universally. Now for Mrs. Betta Edu there, she's just like any other politician that cannot live up to expectation and tries to cover his or her tracks. Okay, so the truth is, we would wait for a form of good governance. Even if the incoming government is from the same ruling party, we hope that we'll hinge on personality this time around, not the party politics. Okay, that is that on that update. I hope you've really enjoyed our time together, and I hope you will stay glued as we bring you the updates from the courts today. Thanks for joining us. See you next time. Bye.